You're killing your kid? He's
Officer,
dead? Why?
I shot at him, bro. I didn't
You
know.
shot at him?
I didn't know there was a fucking kid in the back. And I killed him.
Roll medical.
I fucking
Camera unit. Hang on.
Now, I'm a person that has no problem watching violent movies and playing violent video games, but there's something about seeing real life events that genuinely gets to me. I genuinely don't know why, because at the end of the day, it's still like watching it from a computer screen. Like, it's not like I'm actually there, you know? But again, I hate the fact that this is on my timeline. I really wish that I could unsee these things, because I know like other people have no problem watching them, but for me, it just affects me. And so the story here is that there was an accident, and it caused people to get road rage. And we're not actually presented with what happened, who was to blame, how it escalated, but apparently, this guy right here opened fire on this guy's car. And he didn't know that there was a kid in the car, and apparently the kid got shot. And so the police is on the scene. The guy immediately confesses. He says that, yeah, I shot him. The police arrest him. Now this is where it actually gets interesting. We have a soundbite here at minute 1 and 22 seconds.
No, he has to stay. He's a witness. Shut your mouth, sir. I understand you're upset. I can't even imagine what this would be.
So, basically, the first thing that I have to wonder is like, why am I being shown this video? Why is the algorithm? Why do other people want me to see this video? Am I a judge? Am I like capable of making the situation unhappen? And the answer is no. The reason that people want you to see this video is to hate cops. That's it. It's not to hate this particular cop, but it's to create the narrative that cops are evil. And then you have to wonder who benefits from this narrative. Which political faction, which ideology wants to push the idea that all cops are evil? Because here's what's happening. The video is edited. Like, after the cop says that to the grieving father, we don't actually get to see what's next. Maybe the cop immediately apologized. But we don't know that, right? Because, like, immediately edited during the middle of the conversation. And then it's like, why do people share this video? Is it something nice? Is it something beautiful? Like, do you get something? Like, no, the idea is like, look how awful the police are. And they also try to racialize it. It's like, oh yeah, he was babying the shooter because the shooter was white. And he was mean to the father because the father was brown. How do you know from watching this video? I personally don't know that. I mean, maybe he took the shooter to the station and beat him up all the way there. The video doesn't show. And if you have any different take, then you can be guaranteed that most people will attack you for it, right? So there is a social pressure to comply with the narrative, to join on the bandwagon, police bad, racialized incident. Here's how I see it. Even though it's controversial, even though maybe I'm going to get a lot of hate, I understand that humans are going to be human. Even if they're a police officer, even if they're a judge, even if they're a doctor, a human being is still human. And human beings aren't emotional machines. They're not Terminators. They also run on emotions. Like, your state of emotion can actually affect or impair your judgment. And so I'm trying to put myself into the shoes of the cop. You get called on a scene where a child, an 11-year-old boy, was shot. Now, I don't know what that does to most people, but to me, it would just probably destroy me. Like, I would be an emotional wreck. Like, having to see that, even if I was in a hospital and I did see people bleeding out and other car crashes and accidents, like that, to me, like, seeing it there, it would fuck me up. So, not only that, but then you realize just how fucked up the situation is. It's like, it's pure evil. From a road rage accident, Jesus. And so, you know, you'd have to summon all of your strength to keep it together. And you're already an emotional wreck. Like adrenaline is running, your hormones are out of balance, right? Like that's the natural human reaction, I assume. And you realize that you gotta be professional now, right? You can't just beat up the criminal for what he did, because you gotta remember that you're on camera, and obviously, you gotta do your job. And you're stressed out. You're not like the guy sitting at a computer watching this through a screen and being able to make a cold judgment. No, you're literally there. And you have, like, the dead child in front of you. Now, I see the cop trying to talk to witnesses, trying to understand what the fuck is going on. And the grieving father is there, and obviously, I can't even imagine what he goes through. And he's probably in a state of shock as well, right? So, like, he's talking, and you as the cop, you're talking to the witnesses, and so you snap. But you snap because of the stress, not necessarily, like, because you're a racist. Not because, like, you're in a situation where you're making a premeditative judgment call. You simply snap. Now, he immediately said, right, like, I can't imagine what you're going through, sir. And maybe he said other things, but we can't see, because it was cut. We don't know the interaction that the cop had with the father before that. But basically, yeah, no, it's not acceptable. I agree, like, obviously. I wouldn't want, like, if I was the father and a police officer talked to me like that in such a moment, yeah, I can understand. But as a person who's not there and I'm just watching this unfold, I also understand that when people are under a lot of stress, sometimes they can snap. And so to judge the entire police force, to claim that the police must be racist, or to even know that he does this often, like, I don't know the background of this cop, like, maybe he is like this, maybe he's actually worse. Like, if we look at his case files from the past, maybe he is a piece of shit. Or maybe he's an officer that always did it by the book, and after like 15 years of being in the force, this is his one mistake. We can't know this, but we live in the age of the soundbite, where, like, this sentence that he said in 2 seconds is now defining his entire character. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think, like, this actually creates a fair and just society. I think that the reason for this video is not for people to actually assess the situation, but is to create a mob with torches and pitchforks. And it's not even to be against the cop, it's to be against society, right? In order to be against the concept of law and order, which is being affected by the cops. It's for anarcho-tyranny. It's to say that, yes, like, this is what you expect from cops, right? To preamp the public to the idea that the police is evil. And this is what the Young Turks used to do back in the day, before the Summer of Love. Like, they would have things like this on a daily basis. And it's a marketing term called priming, right? Like, priming your audience. Priming the public in order to think, yeah, no, like, this is not a one-off. This is not one police officer. This is like a racist individual that's part of the systemic police force that operates on a system of heteronormative patriarchy that wants to oppress minorities, so on and so forth. And for the fact that the cop was nice to the killer, I mean, what did you want him to do? If he was to start beating me up there, does that solve anything? He's probably going to get beaten up in prison. There's no way that the guy walks for what he did. Like, if a police officer would start beating up suspects every single time there is one,